do. Be friendly, be neighborly, let them know we're here, and that's all we could do. And it sounds like they both took it very well. And well, I'd love to get some updates from you guys if you want to share what happens from here, the full process, and see how that goes. But great stuff, guys. Love to hear this stuff. This is exactly what we're here to talk about.
All
We
right.
know
It's
about,
time,
yep,
buddy.
to say it's time.
11:30. Let's rock and roll. And I appreciate you all being here. Great stories, guys. I love the information shared. I love the feedback that people are giving. And hey, that's why we come to a huddle, right, everybody? David Rutt's here playing quarterback today. And I appreciate you all joining the huddle with us. If this is your first huddle, welcome. We're here to hear stories, gain insights, and also walk away with a little play to run for the day, right? We all run the same play. You don't have to run it, but we call a play and we suggest you run it. And if everyone in the company does it nationwide, you start to get a economies of scale. There may be 100 people who watch this live, but there may be 1,000 who watch it in recording. So we run these plays, but come every day, come ready to share, not just receive, because when you come ready to share, that means you got to make something happen to share about. You got to be active, right? But we come here to reinstill our beliefs, to remember who we are. We don't come here to maybe gain recognition. We come here to recognize who we are when we're going out there and serving clients. We're not coming to be identified. We're coming to identify what we are and who we are so that when we go out there, what's our source? What are we starting from? We really are a source of service to others because we're grounded in the right intention, the right purpose. And that makes a lot of commissions, but it's by living the Great Commission, right? And that's what we're here to do, live on purpose. So I've got a play today. It's called the Shuffle Pass. We're going to get to it in 1 minute. The Shuffle Pass. I'm excited to talk about it. But before I do, I got a couple stories for you. The first story comes out of um, Massachusetts, a landscaping company. Client stated he had real high credit, doesn't have high credit. But not everyone knows their FICO score. That's okay. It kept us from getting a 200 time, 2 times monthly revenue because he had a good business. He was asking for 150K. He was doing 65K. So even if we got him double his monthly revenue, we'd only get him 130. That's the most we could have gotten him if he had great credit and great average daily balance, etc. I share all this only so you see what happens. Customers come in with an expectation. They're hoping to get 200,000. They're only doing 65,000 a month in revenue. By the way, the broker on this is Israel Valera. Valera. Um, we got him an $80,000 flex rate offer, which is 125% times his monthly average, and at a 1.39 factor. Great prepayment discounts included, so he could decide to pay it back early if he wanted. So that was just a quick story that came in a landscaping company. Now, what's going on in Massachusetts right now for landscaping companies? They're coming out of season, right? So you think sales are going to go up or down? Well, unless they're doing snow plows or unless they're doing a lot of winter stuff, what are they doing to generate revenue in Massachusetts in winter? Right. So it's even more of a reason to be able to get more than 1 times your monthly revenue when revenue may be expected to go down is pretty impressive. I don't know the specifics of this business. So maybe they are going to have some growth out of this, or maybe they're just looking for working capital to get through a tough season, which is not uncommon for seasonal businesses. All right. So we got him $80,000. Great job, Israel. And I've got another quick client story for you, one of my own personal clients. And this is more a story about what I could have done better. More than he is getting the offer. He applied for funding yesterday. I mentioned it yesterday. He called in off of one of my Facebook posts, and I haven't talked to him in over 20 years. And he reached out and said, "Hey, I want to get funding from my construction business. I'm always in the red, going just below zero, just above, and I'm doing 1 million a year. I just need a cushion of like 25 or 30 grand to get ahead of the curve." And we talked to him about his funding. We got him approved he's taking 40,000 right now, but he just called me 5 minutes ago. McGuire, I was talking to you right when I hung up. He called me. So we're talking, literally, I just hung up with him. And he called me and goes, "Hey, they're asking me for my password and my bank account. It seems a little odd. I don't mind. I know they're going to be depositing money in my account and taking money out, but they want my password." I didn't prepare him well enough. right? I didn't, once he got his offer, I didn't tell him, by the way, I told him we have to do bank verification, but I didn't say that means they're going to ask for your routing number and your password. And so what I said to him just now, I said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare you for you. Yeah, that's what I meant by bank verification. I'm sorry. Yes, you do need to give your password and routing number and sign in. They have to verify you didn't take funds this morning or yesterday. It's called stacking. They got to verify you didn't just take money. By the way, not all of our providers do this. This one happened to. They gave them the best offer. Most of ours do. Some have online checkout or no bank account verification needed, but most times you should expect they'll have bank account verification. So I said, this is what I tell people. If you're not comfortable with that, change your password real quick. Give them the updated password and change it back, or give them your current one and change it, as soon as they get done doing their thing. But you can trust that there's no issue. He goes, cool. I just needed to make sure that you thought it was cool, and he's proceeding. So he's literally doing it right now. But that's a story of, by the way, what did he need the funds for? And I didn't reach out to him, so I cannot take credit. But what I did do, I did the shuffle pass, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But what I will say is when he reached out and talked, he knew, and he's seen me posting for a long time about funding, so he knows I'm serious about it. But we had conversation. Construction company always barely getting by. He's like, I just need a cushion of like 30, 40 grand so I can run some marketing. He goes, I did one sales call all last year because I'm so busy managing, just juggling the finances. It's so busy just juggling finances. Anyone who's ever owned a business, that feeling. And he said, if I could just get a little money to get ahead and start running some marketing, I could then go on some sales calls. I don't have to juggle and worry about the money being in my bank every day as my business is operating. And so he's so clear headed right now. He's all motivated. And I was talking about if your sales dip a little, they can look at us, dude, my sales ain't dipping. I'm not worried about sales dipping. I'm going to drive the sales to double the sales. That's all I needed was a little cushion. I haven't been able to get this cushion. Now I got it. Watch what I do. That's what you're doing for business owners. So, and how I got that client was the shuffle pass that we're going to talk about right now. The shuffle pass. So I've got some notes here. So I want to make sure I don't miss anything. All right. In football, a shuffle pass is one of the simplest plays a quarterback can make. You may not know what that is, but a shuffle pass is when a quarterback goes back like they're going to pass and just tosses it forward, a little bit. The line are all blocking. The running back is tossed the ball and the running back grows. You could say it's a handoff, but we're going to go the shuffle pass because you got to do your part. You got to pass this off. And they don't have to throw a 40-yard pass. They don't have to worry about getting hit, sacked from the blind side, right? They just flick the ball forward. Little shuffle pass to the person who does all the heavy lifting, to the running back. The running back's got to be like, the linemen are blocking. Quarterback's got the easiest job, just shuffle it off, right? Today, your job is the same. We're going to run a play called the shuffle pass. Just shuffle the ball forward. What does that mean? DEC's already built the offensive line. We've already built the Bank Breezy funding platform that's blocking for you, running the plays for you, finding the best offer for you, taking care of everything, right? All you got to do is hand the ball off to someone else who's going to do the heavy lifting. We have two brand new 30-second short videos done by McGuire. One about our funding, one about our opportunity. The one for business owners is talking about our business funding platform. It was posted yesterday or 2 days ago. The one for the recruiting for becoming a broker just got posted today. They're fast, they're clean, they get right to the point. And you don't have to explain anything. You just shuffle it off. Share the short. That's what I'm going to call this. Share the short, but I like shuffle pass because we're talking about huddles in football, right? Share the short. The quarterback tosses the ball, and all you got to do is toss this video off to others. Your entire business can move forward with this simple shuffle pass, all right? So today's play, share the short via the shuffle pass, right? Post the business funding short. All you got to do is share it. All you got to do is take the YouTube link and share it to all your social pages, right? Write one line above it. Like, if you need capital to grow, that's what I do. We'd love to help you. Here's the fastest way to see if you qualify, and share your link. Share your link and then put the video under it, right? Share the recruiting posts. So part one is share the client video. Share the recruiting video. If you'd like additional income stream, you want to help local businesses. This is what I do. This is what we do. Check this out. Share your partner with us link, right? So that's all you do on those two. Or optional, This is a better play. You text both of those to 5 businesses or 5 individuals. Text the video, right? A shuffle pass isn't about you having all the style, you having all the flair, you being the deal. It's just about forward movement. It's about putting the tool out in front of people rather than you having to be the tool. You share the tool. You don't have to be the tool. Simple action repeated over and over by the team wins the game, right? So we run the shuffle pass. You don't have to do it every day, but today do it. Okay. So when in doubt, shuffle it out. Really simple, right? Share the short. That's what we're going to do today. Your job is in distribution, not explanation on this one. Just distribute it. Share it with people. Why did I get this client today? Because I shared a post Friday. I got me 2 clients. One of them got approved, one didn't, but the one that didn't wants to be a broker. Let the video do the work. Let the platform do the heavy lifting. Let the lenders be the one to take all the financial risk. You get a broker pay. You help a business owner. You're the QB. You don't have to be the one to scores a touchdown. Just shuffle the ball. Just do the short, share the short. All right. So send off. It's not about being complex today. It's not about being a super pro. It's not about being the one to cross the goal line and get to do the dance. It's the one about just playing the consistent role of running the play, gaining some yards. So grab the video, share the short, shuffle the pass, and let's get some first downs and score some touchdowns. All right. That video doesn't just get played once. Video gets played thousands of times after you share it. And it may be someone someone sees your video that you don't even know, and they click on your link because you shared the short. Shuffle the pass. Ready? Break. That's simple. Okay, team. What do you guys have in addition to this? What other stories we got? I want to hear your funding stories. I want to hear your outreach stories. I want to hear your plays that you ran that worked, didn't work, all those type things. What do you got? I see McGuire. I'll let you take it from here, buddy.
Sure thing. Yep, Suzanne, you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, thank you. It says host is not allowing participants to unmute.
We can hear you loud and
You're
clear.
there. Yep.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you. So I also have some questions. I was recently at a business meeting and I had taken my postcards with my QR code and everything on it and just, would have maybe 2 minutes to say something to someone as they pass by my table. And so I had a good amount of interest. I did the next day have a lady give me a call, and I explained, to her about what we do. She called me yesterday and was putting in the information to make on the Bank Breezy site. And she called me for my agent code, which I gave her. But with her using my QR code, I was wondering why that would come up for her.
Why they'd ask for your code?
Yeah, I mean,
This is why. This is what most of the time happens is people go to, you send them the link, they click on the link and they go to the site, and maybe they're on their mobile or they're on their computer. And then they later go back and remember David Allen Capital. They just type in David Allen Capital or Bank Breezy, but they're not on the cookie device. They're not on the same device they originally went to. The QR code must be looked at from the phone. She may have went to her computer and
okay.
typed it and didn't go to your QR code. So
Okay.
we don't allow them to advance without entering that information. If it's from a mobile, she would use her QR code. It's the only way to do it. But from a desktop, you can't go to a QR code, right? You'd have to manually type it in.
Okay. I thought that may have been the case, but I wasn't sure. So I felt that was pretty successful. I was able to get
Awesome.
about 30 people's information. So I'm going to send them that little 30-minute video or 30-second video that you just talked about. And then I also had a relative, I'm trying to get them to become an agent because he would be so amazing. But he's very successful in what he does. And it's like, I just don't want to do anything right now. So that's fine. But he did call me over the weekend. He goes, look, I need 100,000. I want to buy a business. Can you help me? And I'm like, well, here's the information, put your stuff in. And as I was looking at everything, I did have another question. With the line of credit, do they do the tax returns, or is it basically the same process as the regular process for funding?
The same process for all of our funding, frankly. The only process that's different is the gig funding, which goes to
Mhm.
an instant funder and they link their banks. Everything else, you upload bank statements. We're always trying to get a line of credit and working capital advance when we apply at our providers. So even if they don't ask for it, we're looking to get the best offer. And sometimes that means, hey, we got you a line of credit or an offer to look at which way works better for you. So we do both. Tax returns aren't usually required. Tax returns are required, though, if there's a discrepancy in the owners of record, um, or if they're getting a funding amount over 300,000, 400,000 on some lenders and over 150,000 on other lenders. So it all depends on the different lender. Tax returns are rarely required if they can see everything they need to see at the Secretary of State. But if there's been some owner transfers and they haven't updated their information accurately, and it's saying McGuire Tate's the owner and McGuire's nowhere on the Secretary of State, they're going to say, we need to see the tax returns that who are the owners? We need to see your tax returns because you're telling us
Okay.
McGuire's an owner, but the state of Michigan doesn't show that.
Okay. Well, I know he
Correct.
has a trust, but and I know, yeah, that's perfect. So I'm sure he would like the line of credit. So I'll tell him we'll look at everything, but you will, if you want the line of credit out, and you qualify, which I'm sure he does, then we'll go that route. But okay, great. So hopefully, the lady will complete everything because I haven't seen anything in my back office, and
Mhm.
then I'll talk to my relative and encourage him to go ahead and finish everything.
Yep. And keep in mind, when they fill out the form manually at your website, they don't click on a QR code or they don't click on your link. So the link is, the QR code, they take a picture with their phone. The link is
Mhm.
just like I put a link in the chat for where to go directly to the shorts. If you put your link into a text or an email, it's a hyperlink, right? If they click on it, then you're going to get status updates all throughout because your agent ID and your email was imported into our system. If they manually type it, your email is not added to the system
Ah,
until later by our team manually. So you won't get live status updates until they become funded or declined, or until we manually add your email, which is not our priority. When if you can
sure.
imagine when an offer comes in, um, if I get an application and I fill out the form, I'm sorry, if I'm a customer, I fill out the form and I put your name, Suzanne, which by the way, you're doing great planting all these seeds. And I type in Suzanne as my broker, but I don't click on your link and I don't click on your QR code. Our internal team doesn't see Suzanne's email. Our system doesn't have your email for auto updates. We have your name and we have your ID number because I manually typed it in as the customer, right? Again, I had to click on the link, it would all be in and the email, and you'd be notified. But as we talked about in our certification, if they don't do that and it's manually entered, what's going to happen is our internal team will add your email eventually, but it's not our first priority. Our first priority is getting that client moving through to find offers, and then we'll add your email when we can, but that takes some time. And we've got now 5 people looking at packages, not just 2, and some of them don't have access to our database of brokers. So it's not as efficient as it once was of getting your information added. But what's real efficient is taking care of the customer faster. That's more efficient.
Which is
Getting
important.
you
That's
notified. That's the
absolutely
most
more
important
important.
part.
Yes.
Yeah. So you may have had an app started already. You will get the email eventually. And the good news is when they get funded, you'll get credit either way, whether you get that status update email or not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Keep up the great work.
Great stuff, Suzanne. And then we have Precious. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, hello, hello.
How
I
are
was
you?
good. I was kicked off the line earlier. I was in the elevator, but I'm here now. I did make my calls yesterday before 12, and I didn't get anyone.
That's
But
all right.
I still made some connections after 12. And then I have a couple people in um, they're gonna take the time out to review the video and stuff that I sent
Yeah.
them to become a broker, because my goal now is to build my agency and let people know that they can build their own agency as well, because I can't help 20,000 businesses by myself.
Amen.
And
Amen.
so
You need an
I'm
army of brokers, right?
yes, yes. So
Mhm.
I met a roofer just before I got parked again, and well, it was a roofing truck. And so the guy said that his boss is Hispanic and he needs a transmission for one of his trucks. So prayerfully, if everything is good with him, that will be my first application.
Come on now. Come on now.
Go.
Good for you. And
Yeah.
you know what's neat about this is you've got a lot of seeds you've already planted, Precious, and it doesn't matter whether they've applied yet or not. Some of them will apply in the future. They
Later.
just
Mhm.
haven't, they just don't need it yet. So keep on
Yep.
doing your part and the fruit will show. And by the way, I love that you're being mama. I'm assuming
Yes.
that's your child. Is that your child in the background?
My grandkids. Yep. I
Grandkids.
have two
Wow.
grandkids.
Two
Yeah.
grandkids. So you're being grandma and what do they call you? Do they call you grandma?
Yeah, they do. One
All
of them
right.
called me nanny and one of them called me granny. My grandson, he called me mama until he was about 3. And
I love it.
then he came up one day and said, Granny. I said,
Hey,
oh.
we'll take
So
it. We'll take it.
yep, I love
Yes. Well,
it.
that's awesome. Glad you
I'm
get to be with the
thankful.
kiddos while you're working. All
Yes,
right.
thank
Thank
you for the
you.
opportunity.
Yep, great work,
Amen.
Precious. And I will add, I know you said you didn't reach anybody on those calls, but voicemails are just as powerful. There's no question. My first 2 clients were voicemails, and I was like, hey, who knows what happens, but I'm gonna speak the same way if I was talking to them in person. And they came back, called me back, ready to go. So good work. Is all you can do is plant the seed, whether that's over the phone or voicemail. So good stuff, Precious. Elena, you can go ahead. Looks like you're already unmuted. Go ahead.
So I had an application submitted. It's a great file, so I know he's going to get in front of the A-tier lenders.
Mm,
But that can also be my downfall. It's too great of a file, and banks work with him.
okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not
Yep.
like he can't go to a bank. But he needs like 400,000. He doesn't need it, but he wants to open up 2 locations.
Okay.
So I'm going to, as soon as we get contracts and stuff like that, I want the early payoff,
Yeah.
in the contract so I can tell him, look, let's just turn over this money and pay it off as soon as possible so you can pay even less interest. But like I said, the banks work with him, so I know he's going to have amazing approvals. But the fact that banks work with him, that's my competition.
Well,
So
here's the good news, and this is, I think you already understand this, Elena, but for everyone else, banks may be able to beat our offers for our standard client, but for someone who can get approved at a bank and they go with us and they get approved for the 100% prepayment discount, we beat the bank's tail because banks
that's
don't give you a
awesome.
100% prepayment discount. Banks don't give you that. They give you early payment penalties if you pay it off early. So they may give you a 12% rate for 5 years, which ends up costing 1.34 over 5 years. Just so y'all know, it's not 12%, it's 34%, but you get 5 years to pay it. But if you pay it off early, penalty, because we need that 34% on you. And if you're going to pay it early, we're charging you a penalty, not with our prepayment, 100% prepayment product. So if someone gets approved at 100,000 and they're going to pay back, let's just say they're paying back 125, but they have so that's 25 points. You're like, that's pretty steep compared to a bank. Yeah, but the bank makes you hold it 5 years. And if you pay it off early, they charge you more. We can pay it off in 2 weeks and you only pay 2,000. You get 100. You have a closing cost of 2.5%. So you only get 97.5. You got 100. If you pay it off tomorrow, you only pay off 100.
That's awesome. I'm just
Yeah.
going to focus on the early payoffs, and I calculated even the commission at 4 points. So I'm willing to take a loss on this one. I kind of need a commission. I have been planting seeds. I've been going to network events. I've been giving out my card in my neighborhood.
Yep.
However, financially, I'm not in a position to plant seeds. I'm in a position to have absent now. I know you said you were against call centers. However, the majority of my sales experience is in call centers.
Yep.
And in my last company, I was literally calling people where they were getting 30 plus phone calls a day, and I still had the ability to stand out. The
Yeah.
reason
So
why
let me just say
my
this so
deals,
that let me communicate something real quick so that everyone's aware of how I stand. I'm not against call centers who act with integrity. I'm not against Nick DeHame out of Argentina calling, or Matt DeHame calling, or any of you calling someone. I call clients all the time. I'm just honest. I don't violate the TCPA laws. I don't pretend I'm someone I'm not. I got a text today. It was a scam text about a funding approval. I didn't even apply for funding. So that's what I'm against, is people misrepresenting the truth to try to get a yes, because we'll tell people our broker lied to you. We won't say, "Oh, okay, we'll back them up," even though they misled you on our company. We don't want a reputation. So what we say is, if you're going to follow our scripts and our training, and you follow operating with integrity, and you want to serve clients, call 100 clients if you want. But if you're not
yes.
going to do that, the first time we hear that you've misrepresented us, we're going to say, "Sorry, that's not truthful. They're obviously operating outside of our box. We'll put a stop to it." And so that's all. That's my perspective on
Well,
it. I
I'm a
love phone
very
calls.
honest person,
Yeah.
and that's my that at my company, my main job was to build the trust with the
Yes.
relationships.
Yes.
And then when I passed it, these people, I was just presenting the worst deals on the market. So it doesn't matter how much they love me and how they always pick up when I call. Um, and I am talking to Synergy Energy. I don't mean to make a shout out, but they have a affordable lead package where I can get started with like $20, $50. So I'm not going to be breaking the bank.
No one buy
Um,
those, team. You can buy them if you want, Elena, but I've tried 50 lead companies. I promote 0 lead companies. That,
how
just so you
do
know,
you
you can
just
try it.
say
You can do it. We just
calling
don't.
the
Is
you
You
say
go
just
for it. Go for it.
I
I just don't allow
I'm
people to
going
promote a
for it.
lead. Yeah,
I
go
just
for it.
can't. I'm passing out cards, and I know these people eventually will apply. However, but you have to understand, when I say I have call center experience, I have call center experience. Do you know what I
I
mean?
think you should go for it, Elaine. I think you should go for it. I just, anytime someone says I'm buying leads from this place, I tell everyone else, don't buy them. If you get 50 fundings in the next month, I'll go, okay, Elaine's got a good lead source, but we don't have one broker out of 7,000 who found a good lead source. You may have found it, but we just don't promote it. I keep buying them and testing them too. So I'm with you, but you know where I find my leads? Google, right in my phone book. They're just as good. The looking up, businesses near me in construction are better leads than what I'm buying from lead companies who have got 500 people, 550. They've applied at 50 different places. So you may prove me wrong. I hope you do. I want you to succeed. But I say
Well,
call 10 names that
I will
don't even
give
pay for the
that.
leads.
I will give that a shot. You know,
Yeah.
and also my Chambers of Commerce directory is public.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, should I call before I can afford to become a member, and how do I approach that? You
You know
know?
what? I just saw your name in the chamber directory in Heartland, Michigan, and I'm just reaching out because I live local and I see you're in the real estate business, or you're in the landscaping business in Heartland. That's awesome. We're just calling, introduce ourselves, and do your regular skills. Pretend they filled out a lead. Operate the same way, but they didn't fill out a lead. You saw them advertise in their local chamber, and you will win. That's McGuire said right there, those first two clients. He was sitting in the room right over here, and he called those out of our chamber book. And he said, "You don't know me directly, but I saw your name in the Chamber of Commerce. I'm in business funding. We'd love to help businesses grow. Just want to introduce myself. Here's my link if you want to check us out. Got 2 apps in a week, 2 fundings by leaving that voicemail."
Yes, and about the reimbursement, I heard you say that after you fund 100,000, you
Yes.
get the Chambers of Commerce business. Because
Yeah.
I agree with you. I personally, the reason why I went full straight ahead with your motive on how to market is because I truly believe that call centers are going to be out of business within a short
Mm-hmm.
period of time. With
Yeah.
Google Voice, it got to the point where no matter how great I was at my job, I was calling 300 numbers and only getting 3 people on the phone a day. So
Yeah.
that those are not good statistics. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I do believe in doing person, God willing, I'm praying on this. I need this. Let's say this guy gets what he needs, 250, 300,000, right? Since I funded 250 and 300,000 and I purchased my chambers of commerce, do I have to fund another 100,000 to get reimbursed? Or since I already funded it, would I get reimbursed?
Yeah, you're getting commission. The chamber is an investment we make into people who took the risk of buying a chamber membership and then fund someone from their chamber. So it's not just if you do 100,000, we give you a chamber, we gave you commission that can pay for a chamber. What we do is if you bought a Chamber of Commerce membership and then you get 100,000 in funding from that chamber, we'll reimburse up to $500 in addition to your commission. So that's the rule of it.
Okay,
All right.
I just wanted to make sure because I'm gonna invest in that. I'm definitely gonna invest in that, but I'm all in. I'm
We want
trying
to
to
see you
budget and
win.
see.
Yeah,
We
I'd
want
love
to
to
see
jump
you
in and just
win.
share my 2 cents because you spoke on a couple topics that I've spent some time in. So as far as the leads go and things like that, you live in an area in New York, I believe, correct? Yeah, so
Yes.
you're in a very, very populated area. I'm in Miami as well. So the good news is that we don't have a shortage of small businesses around us. That's a great thing. So my recommendation to you, this is something that I've done and tried to craft my way along is like David mentioned, going on Google, finding the places, right? So you can sort by just whatever industry, whatever you want, and then frame that in the call, right? It's your meeting people that are local to you, so you have that advantage, right? I'm in the area, I live local. And then I've even set up meetings to go meet a business owner in person because sometimes, that's something that means something to them, right? Even my last client, we had a great kickoff on the phone and I said, "Hey, if you want sometime this week, I'd love to come in and meet you." And that just kind of solidifies it a little further. So, there's a lot of lead companies out there and something that you mentioned is that people are getting calls a lot, right? So there's a major advantage to calling local, just finding them online on Google because they have not been reached out to by 30 places because they might not even know what alternative funding is, right? So calling them, you might be one of one. You might be the only funding woman that's reached out to them in, ever. And two, you're serving local, so they've already trust you a little more. And chambers even, another notch forward in that trust. And then maybe schedule a meeting with them or put them on your list to stop by. Now when you walk in, I got to go talk to Brian over in this business, right? So make your list that way. And then my only note on the banking side is something that we just didn't mention is the timing of it, right? So if that business owner has something that needs to be done soon, timing is something that we have an advantage of, as well as the use of the funds, right? So, just it's a little thing. It sounds little, but it's a big thing. Like, hey,
Huge.
timing is
Yeah.
huge. If that means something to you, and also with us, you wouldn't have to get that business plan approved. The funds are there for you to use for whatever you deem necessary. So just two quick things on the bank side, little lead
Love
advice
it.
for you too.
Good stuff, buddy. Yeah, the no collateral too.
Name
McGuire, I was looking for business funding and my wife was like, "Hey, I don't care. Take all the risks you want with the business. Just don't put our house on the line." And there's a lot of business owners who feel the same way. They don't want to risk their family livelihood. Their business is already risked. Okay, let's bring it home. I just want to say one more thing. We tested a bunch of leads and if someone's buying a lead, I had the last company we used told me this lead is exclusive to you, David. We will only give this lead to you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so that sounded better than some of the round robin programs. And so we paid a premium to get leads to test it. And what I found was the people who fill out the lead on Facebook, people who fill out a bank funding lead on Facebook, what does Facebook do? Facebook knows you filled out a lead. So they tell every other lender on the planet this person is interested. And they don't even tell them. They just start publishing on David Rutz's page. Let's say I'm the one who filled out I'm interested in business funding. As soon as I do that, Facebook then shows me 10 other companies because Facebook earns every time there's an impression on their page. So they go, "Oh, David's interested in funding. Let's show him another one. Oh, here's another lender. Let me fill out that. Oh, here's another lender. Let me fill out that. Oh, here's another lead company. Let me fill out that." So even though this one here was exclusive and only gave David the lead to McGuire, What McGuire doesn't realize is Facebook doesn't care about that. Facebook's publishing David in front of 20 other lender lead companies, and I'm then filling out all that information. And now David is getting pelted by McGuire and 10 other companies. And this lead company sold it to 5 people. This lead company sold it to 50 people. This lead company sent it to 100 people. So what ends up happening is McGuire got an exclusive lead, and that company's honest. They only gave it to McGuire, but it doesn't matter because David filled out 500 forms. And David, and then even if you do get an app, McGuire, when he was testing for leads for us, because believe me, this is all from experience. This isn't, I'm not just a naysayer. I tested it, and we've spent thousands on leads, as did McGuire, as did many others, as did Wade. And what he learned is even if I get an app in, by the time the app gets in, they've already applied at 10 other places. So it's already a decline. It's already a stacking risk. It's already high risk. So local is your dominant market. If you live in the United States, your local market is your advantage. Your area code number calling in is your advantage. Of course, we train 100 ways, and we're not going to, this isn't a training. We've got into it. But when she mentioned leads, I just want to protect everyone who's on here because I see the people buying leads, and we'll see apps come in and go, we've seen this same application 5 times in the last 3 weeks. And it's because that lead has been sold to 100 people. And that business owner's like, please try. I'll try anything because that one declined me. And that one declined me. And maybe you guys can get me approved. And it ends up being a waste of everybody's time and enthusiasm and, more importantly, money. So go local, and you got it from there. McGuire, I'm going to turn this over to you because my appointment's here. And
Sure.
I see Matt's got something he wants to say. So, Matthew, we're going to let you rock and roll, buddy. And then, McGuire, I'm going to make you co-host.
Sounds
Or
good.
make you host. So
Absolutely.
I'm gone, Matt. Sorry I can't stick around to hear you, but I know it's going to be good stuff. Take care, buddy.
Absolutely. And just before I turn it over to Matt real quick, I just want to mention as far as the shorts go, the first one that I made was for the micro funding. We wanted to shed some light on the micro funding. And then the one that's up in the broker group today is regarding, just the broker opportunity. By the end of today, I'm going to have a kind of blanket funding post where it's, talking about just the raw power of the platform, not just the micro funding side. So just kind of check in with the Facebook group, by the end of the day today. So you'll have a mix of videos. I just wanted to point that out. That first video is just for the, micro funding giggle type clients. But go ahead, Matt, take it away, buddy.
Hey, I just fantastic call today. Just want to summarize. Elena, I just want to tell you, she's in New York City. I know she is, and she's got a ball of energy, and she's completely. If anybody picked up on it, her I have to do this attitude. She's committed. You talk about commitment. You can see it, you can hear it in her voice. She's going to do it. She's going to succeed. She already got an app, and she's like, she has to. So she's given that mentality of, not burn your bridges, burn the ships kind of thing. But there's no way go. No, there's no escape going back. She's going forward, but she's looking for the best, quickest, fastest option. My suggestion for Elena was, and you're a sweetheart. I see you like you're going to be phenomenally successful. I can see it. And I'm a caller. I don't have a choice. I'm not in New Jersey. I'm in another country. And all I have is a phone. And I've done a phone training. David had asked me in the past. And the reason I'm jumping in here, I'm not wonderful. I go up and down. I'm really good sometimes, and sometimes I'm not, as you well know, when you're doing, phone prospecting. But the thing I wanted to add to all of it, it can be summarized in this. Separate yourself from everybody else. Whatever it is that makes you distinctively unique, or not those people who buy leads, those people in the call centers, those people you're familiar with, right? Who do mass, bombarding on the phone to get a quick response and to get, hit triggers, was summarized in that A, local, right? B, the credibility and what you said about, being motivated and focused is that you do have a credible product. You do have the best. So I just share this with everybody. What helps me is knowing I've had a submission again just recently, phenomenal offers. They were better than I've ever seen. I think they're getting better and better. But the client didn't take it because they didn't have a good use for the funds, or they had, and like David said, I may have miscommunicated something. I didn't set the correct expectations. We got to do that. And I failed to do it. I kind of let the door open and said, well, if you don't get it, the funding, you don't get the smaller amount, you've got another option to consider, another thing you can do with your business. So let's go see what you get approved for. But I want to summarize and say what caused me to speak to this woman and separate myself, or make myself unique and not somebody that they throw their guard up. So getting somebody to drop their defenses, right, their guard down to cynical world, right? It is, especially New York. My God, is that I'm not one of those people, and here's why I'm calling, and here's how I'm not one of those people. So the faster you can do that in the first 10 seconds, 8 seconds of your call, work on it, practice it. Go talk to your friends and make that call or do those approaches where you're making yourself very distinct from the people that they're getting their guards up to. It's a simple thing. So practice that. It's helped me immensely. All right, guys, I'm done. Hope that helped. Use it.
Oh, you're muted, McGuire. Sorry, I tried to unmute as quick as I could.
You're good. No, I was just saying, appreciate you, Master. Every time you get on, it's a great perspective. It's a, perspective flip. And sometimes we need that when we're looking at one topic at hand. So I think everything we've shared is right on point. How to be different. Well, you call people who haven't been called before. You be somebody they haven't heard before, and you offer them something they haven't seen yet. And that's all we can do in this life and in this business. So I think there's been some great nuggets today. Hopefully everyone was able to take some bits and pieces of it. So I love you guys. God loves you more. We will be here on at 11:25 tomorrow, day before Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's preparing for the great holidays, to see some people, spread some love, spread some light. And we'll be on here tomorrow, like I mentioned. So let's have a productive day, guys. Take this momentum, take this energy. Don't be afraid. Reach out. Share the great news, which is the funding platform. It's an opportunity for that business to grow, and we will be on here tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, try to go do something spectacular so that you can come on tomorrow with some energy, share it with us, and get some other people motivated to do the exact same thing. So I'll see you guys. Take care, be safe, do some work today, and we'll be